Hi, this is Tommy, the creator of Bracks Magnetic Construction Toys. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to start out with the basic structure, but what we want to do is make a bump out garage. In a prior video we made a bump out garage, but we made it the full depth of the main part of the house. What I want to do now is make a half deep bump out garage. And the reason I want to do that is I'm going to show you how to use a piece called the outside corner connector. And that's going to allow us to make an external right angle to make the bump out addition. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take this roof off and I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to use it later. We're going to take out this wall. We're going to take out our corner connectors. We're not going to need them right now. And I'm going to get my garage piece. So there's my garage piece. And again, I'm not using any particular set, although I am using the framer set, obviously. Framer set's a little taller than the standard pieces and allows you to use some action figures, some 3.5 or 4-inch action figures or some small dolls, and you can actually play with this structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bump out garage. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use a support connector. I'm going to snap that on there, I'm going to snap that on there, and there you have the garage. And the reason I use a support connector instead of a 1x2, which you could use in a lot of situations instead if you don't have any support connectors handy, is because the support connector is about 1/4 of an inch shaved off the top and the bottom of a 1x2. And the reason you're going to want to use that more narrow connector is because you're going to want to set down a roof. If you used a 1x2, it would be too high and your roof would not set down. So we use the support connectors. There's one support connector there, and then you have a support connector on the bottom too, and we have our garage. So what we want to do is instead of, like I said, instead of making a fully deep garage addition, we're going to make a half deep garage addition. So here we have a piece that's half the width of the standard 4x6 piece of the framer set. And to do this, we're just going to use a regular corner connector. We're going to use a regular corner connector there. Everybody has those handy. Those are a standard piece and a very important piece. We're going to snap that onto there. Same thing I'm going to do over on this side. I'll put that piece in there right now too. Use a regular corner connector. I'm going to snap that there. And use a regular corner connector for the bottom. I'm going to set that bottom piece into place too. And here's the important thing to remember about outside corner connectors. With outside corner connectors, you can make an external right angle, as opposed to a regular standard corner connector where you're making an interior or internal 90-degree angle. Another thing about outside corner connectors is one of the magnets is offset 1/4 of an inch. You can see those line up, but the opposite side of the connector, the magnet's 1/4 of an inch offset. And the reason we do that is it allows some better alignment. As you make a lot of external and internal angles, sometimes the alignment will get out of whack, and what you're going to need is to flip these around to see which alignment works best for you. The only time it's really important is if you're putting a ceiling on there. When you put a roof on, because the way the magnets attract and their power, you can move it a little bit and the pieces will fit in right. But by offsetting one of the magnets, it'll fit a lot better. So what I'm going to first do, I'll show you an example of this. First thing I'm going to do is set the external corner connectors like this. I'm going to get a back wall, and I'm going to use a window wall just because I like them. And what I'm going to do is snap that on there. Now as you can see, here's how the panels butt with the outside corner connector oriented like this. The problem is it's not going to line up over here properly because these two pieces butt up directly to each other, where these are going to be offset that direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this outside corner connector around to the opposite way, and I'll flip the bottom one too. That'll allow us to slide the front panel behind that panel and have them butt this way instead. That'll allow us to align this side a lot better. And for that connection on this side, I'm going to use a simple corner connector, snap it in there. Great thing about corner connectors, you can just sort of toss them in there And they'll snap into the corner real quickly and orient real nicely by themselves. So there's your basic structure. What we're going to do now is put the roof on. We're going to get this old roof that we had from the prior video, and we're going to set it right there. And that fits nicely. So what we're going to do is put a roof here. I'm going to show you the kind of roof I like to build when I have a narrow addition like this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find 2 panels. Using these length of panels, I'll be able to make 2 equal pieces. Now there are some other pieces that are longer, and you will be able to still make the roof the right size, but these will allow us to use 2 equal length pieces. So what I'd like to do, same way we made this this peaked roof, is we're going to use a ceiling corner connector. We're going to put it on our panel, and we want to leave that magnet out so we can put an end gable on like that. Snap that piece on. I'm going to do the same thing, same 2 pieces. Do the same thing with that for our other half of our roof. I'm going to snap this on there, snap this on there again, leaving that magnet on the outside so we can put an end gable. So what we have are our 2 pieces now to put on this roof. Question is, how are we going to connect those 2 pieces? You could do something, depending upon the pieces you have available, you could connect them by using some support connectors. Problem with using this many support connectors is it doesn't make the structure very sturdy. It moves a little bit, does a little bit of wiggling. So I want to show you how I like to use another piece to make that a little more stable. And that piece is called a double corner connector. The double corner connector is the same as a regular corner connector, except it's twice the height. And the usual way you would use this double corner connector is to build a second floor onto a structure if you don't have a ceiling. So there's that, and you would do something like that, and you could make your second floor like that if you don't have a ceiling. If you have a ceiling, you could simply use a floor corner connector, set it on top of your ceiling, and start making your second floor. But what we're going to use this piece, and this is the fun part about Bracks. There are so many different connectors, and you run into issues and problems, and how am I going to make a connection with what I have? And the beauty of Bracks is these connectors can be used in so many different ways. Every time I build, I find a new way to use these connectors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our peaked roof half. I'm going to snap that in there. And I'm going to snap that piece in there. So what we have is a very solid now. Doesn't have that give that other piece using the support connectors had. I'm going to use this. I'm going to slide it right on there. Before we do that, of course, we want to put on our end gables. We have an end gable. It's a smaller end gable than this piece, and it fits perfectly there. I have another end gable. I'm going to snap it onto the ceiling corner connector there. And now we have a roof for our garage addition. We have our pull knobs, we have our door there, and there is our structure. Basic 4-sided structure with a half-deep bump-out garage. If you want to see this video or any other building videos, you can see them on YouTube, or you can go to clickclackbracks.com and check them out on our website. Until then, build something cool with Bracks.